Hi everyone, welcome to Crafty Yarn Owl with Darla. I'm Darla. Today we're going to be making this lightweight, airy, lacy summer top. Just something to throw over a tank top or a t-shirt. Go out yarn shopping. Alright, so how this design works is the body is one piece. Now what you do is you make a chain starting at around the length that you want. I did put a border on this, so that's gonna maybe be 1.5 inches. But what I did was I made a chain starting with the length that I wanted my top to be, and then the chain needs to reach up your front, right over your shoulder, all the way down to the bottom of your back where you want the length to be. All right, then we start working from the side, and then we go up to the center, and I show you how to make this neckline. You can make your neckline more open or more closed, and I show you how, or I tell you how to do that. All right, and then you're going to make the same number of rows on this other side, and then we are going to crochet the sleeves directly on. So you can make cap sleeves, you can make short sleeves, you can make elbow length, 3/4 length, or long like I did. One of my beautiful subscribers asked if it can be long sleeve, and yes, I made long sleeves. There's no border on the cuffs of the sleeve. That's just the stitch. Didn't have to make a border. We don't have to do anything extra around the neckline. I just left it the way it is. I think it looks unique, different, so I liked it. And I did make a border around the bottom like I mentioned. And what it is 3 rows of single crochet, and then the stitch we used throughout, 3 rows of that. All right, so let's get started. I made my top out of Stenley 100% bamboo hand-dyed yarn. I got this yarn from Pleta. You don't have to use bamboo. You can use cotton. You can use a lightweight acrylic. This is classified as a 3-weight. You could use a 1-weight, 2-weight, 3-weight, even a thin 4-weight. Okay, this one's 100% bamboo. They don't give a color name on this, but it's blues, light blues, dark blues, greenish, and a light tan color. Last time I looked, Pleta did not have this anymore. These come in hanks. They did not have this color anymore, but they do have other colors. Okay, and they classify this as a 3-weight. So there are how many yards? It actually just says 250 meters. It doesn't give the yardage. So I used 5 hanks. Okay, so 5 hanks at 250, that's 1,250 meters. And this is what I had left from the 5th hank. I used a 4.5 millimeter hook. I'm not sure if it suggests the hook. It suggests a 3 to a 3.5 hook. I went up to a 4.5 to make it more lacy. You will need some stitch markers. You'll need a darning needle to weave in your ends. You'll need scissors to cut off your ends, and you may possibly need a pen and some paper to take notes. This stitch is made in a multiple of 10 plus 2. for my top, which you make the chain to go from the length you want it all the way over your shoulder to the back. Okay, so I did 160 chains plus 2. So multiple is 10 plus 2. So let's start with that. And this is just a sample. This is just to show you how to start it out, how to do your stitch so you can see with a thicker yarn here. So multiple of 10 plus 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So keep making 10s and then add 2 at the end. Now in row 1, we're simply going to make single crochets into every chain stitch. So we skip the first one, go in the next one with a single crochet, put a single crochet in every chain all the way to the end. So this is the first row. At the end of our single crochet row, we're going to chain 2. Turn our work. So in that very first stitch below the chain 2, we're going to put 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all in that stitch. Okay, that's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochets. All right, then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go in the 5th one with a single crochet. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go in the 5th one with 2 double crochet. Chain 2, 2 double crochet. It's 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Okay, that's what it's looking like. Then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go in the next one with a single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're just repeating all this for this row. Skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go in the 5th one with 2 double crochets. Chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay, that was 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. All right, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go in the next stitch with a single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, excuse me. Now at the end of our row, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the last stitch, I'm going to make 2 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and then I'm going to chain 2. Make 2 more double crochets in that last stitch. And then I'm going to make a half double crochet. Half double crochet right on the end. So that half double crochet will represent a chain 2, which we did at the beginning of this row. Okay, we need those to go into. Okay, so now we're going to chain 2. All right, so now this row we're going to make is our first row of the 2-row repeat. This one we're going to make now. Okay, so I've chained 2, I've turned my work. Now I'm going to put 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the center of that shell around that chain 2. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. This is what we're going to be doing from now on, is putting 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets into our chain 2 space of the shells. Okay, now we have these chain 3s and that single crochet in the middle. We're going to go right into that, or right around that first chain 3 here, and put a single crochet around it. Then we're going to chain 3. We're going to put a single crochet around that next chain 3. And then we're going to put 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the chain 2 space of the next shell. Okay, 1, 2, 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 more doubles. Okay, remember this is the first row of our 2-row repeat that we're working on right now. Okay, so now we have this chain 3 and that single crochet and that chain 3. Just going to go right around that first chain 3 and put a single crochet. We're going to chain 3, go around that next chain 3 space with a single crochet. And then we're going to go over into that chain 2 space of that shell with 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Just have to get my yarn to untangle a little bit here. All right, so that's the first double crochet. That's 2, 3, and then we chain 2, and then go back in with 3 more double crochets. So keep repeating this across this row. The yarn's just tangling up. Okay. So yeah, just keep repeating this until you're near the end of this row, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I made this shell, single crocheted around that chain 3, chain 3, single crocheted around the next chain 3 from the previous row, and now we're going to go into our shell at the end here, right here in that chain 2 space, and we're going to make 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, chain 2, just like before in this row, 3 double crochets, okay, so there's our 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in our last shell, and now we have these 2 double crochets down here, but we also have this chain 2. Was that a chain 2 we did? Or a half double? They're going to count the same anyway. We're going to yarn over, go in the top of it, and make a double crochet. Okay. So that's how it looks. And this is just a short sample, but how it looks. Okay, so that row we just did was the first of our 2-row repeat. All right, so now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to chain 2 at every row from now on. 1, 2, and then we're going to go into that chain 2 space with 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Now we have this chain 3 space, just one right here. So in order to get to it, we're going to need to chain 3, and then we're going to put a single crochet around that chain 3 space, or right into the space. And then we need to get back up to this chain 2 space in that shell, so we're just going to chain 3 to get over there. And then we're going to put our 3 double crochet, chain 2 into that next chain 2 of that shell, the next shell. Okay, so 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. This is what our fans will consist of all the way to the end of our project. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, remember we're on the second row of the 2-row repeat right now. All right, so chain 3 after our shell, and then single crochet in that chain 3 space, chain 3, and then 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in that chain 2 space of that shell. Okay, then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3 to get down to this chain 3 space down here. Okay, my yarn is there, just have to pull it out. Go into that chain 3 space with a single crochet, and then chain 3 to get back up to the top of our shell. Chain 2 space here, make our 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, so now this is how our work is looking. So from now, right here, I'm going to go down to the top of the chain 2 down here. I'm going to make a double crochet. So yarn over, go on the top of it, make a double crochet. All right, so I'll get you started on the next row, which was this row. Let me see. Yes, that was single crochet row. And this was, I guess, the setup row. Yes. And then that's the first row of the 2-row repeat. That's the second row of the 2-row repeat. So first row, second row. So we're going to repeat the first row now. We're going to chain 2 like we do at the end of every row from now on, or from where I told you. Okay. So make our fan in that chain 2 space of that fan from the previous row. I mean shell. I was calling them shells. Okay, so 1, 2, okay, so that was 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then we have this chain 3, single crochet, chain 3. So we're going to go down there and put a single crochet around that first chain 3. We're going to chain 3 and then put a single crochet around that next chain 3. And then we're going to make our shell into the next chain 2 space of the next shell. Okay, so 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Okay, so continue with that. We're just repeating the first row of our 2 row repeat now. This is the first row, that was a second. And we're making this pattern, so it's going to run this way. So what you're actually working on now is the width. Okay, this will be the length. Of course, it'll be a lot longer because it's going to go up your front from where the length you want, go over your shoulder and come back down your back. All right, so what we're working on this way is the width. When we get to a certain point, and I will, walk you through that or tell you, we're going to make a space for our head to fit through. Okay, so this is going to come along your side under your armpit, across to your neck, and then we'll make the other side. And then we'll need to, and I probably explained this at the beginning, we're going to just leave an opening for our arms, so down here, sew the sides together, and we're going to make sleeves if you want. Okay, all right. Okay, so now we're going to start on the neckline. Now what I did was I took the piece and folded it over so it's even on the bottom, so I know where to put my neckline here. Over here is the side where you're going to be sewing the side together, but that won't be for a bit, and leaving an area or a hole open for your arm there, and this will go across your shoulder to the middle of your body. Okay, so now what I've done here is I'm on the second, let me just think, the 23rd row. So that's the first row of the 2 row repeat. I started it and I marked where my neck line is going to go. Okay, my neck line is this is the front. It's going to be about this big in the front, but with the weight of your project, it's going to stretch a little bit. And then I marked down a little bit lower on my back because I don't want my neckline to be right up against the back of my neck. Okay, so now we need to make a chain for the neckline. Okay, so the way I calculate the chain is from this shell to this shell is 10, to the next shell will be 20, to the next shell will be 30, and then I'm minus 1, so I know I need a chain of 29. So if you're starting your neckline here, that would be 10, 20, 30, 40. So you know you'll need a chain of 39. Okay, so I'm going to go into this first shell that I marked with a shell. And then I'm going to make my chain. Okay. Okay, gotta flip it over because I'm working this other way. Okay, and you know, we just worked the row like regular up until here, and in this shell you put a shell. So it's 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, just like before. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 double crochet. All right, so now I'm going to do my chain of 29, and I'll be back when I finish that. All right, I have my chain, and now I'm going to go to the next, where I have the next stitch marker, and just put a fan in there like normal, and then continue the row like normal until you come back around to your chain. Okay. Okay, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And then single crochet here around that chain 3, and then we chain 3, and then we go single crochet around the next chain 3, and then put our fan, and so on and so forth till we get to our chain. Okay, I'm at my chain. All right, so what I did here was I marked my chain every 5th stitch, or every 5th chain. So yeah, just put a stitch marker in every 5th chain, so you don't have to keep counting because those are the chains we're going to work into wherever I put the stitch marker. This stitch marker was from before, that can go. All right, so I've done my 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the last fan. So then I'm going to chain 3. Okay. Chain 3, and we're just going to be working what we did here. Chain 3, and where that first stitch marker is, I will put a single crochet. Then we'll chain 3. Where I have the next stitch marker, we'll make a fan. Okay, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. It's being a little fiddly, but we can do it. Okay, next stitch marker. Well, first of all, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. The next, where the next stitch marker is, we'll put our single crochet, and then we'll chain 3. And that next stitch marker, we'll put our fan, and so on. And then when you finish your last stitch here, you will have 4 chains left over, and you just continue on doing your design like we've been doing all along. Okay, and continue on with your top. We will do something with this neckline. make it more pretty later on. But just do the same number of rows as you did on this side. Just do them on the other side. This will be, this will count as your first row on the other side, which is the 24th row. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'll meet you after we've completed the crocheting of the body. Now, when you have the body of your top made, we're going to chain 2 and turn. And then we're going to go into that first fan stitch with a single crochet. We're going to chain 4. This is just to finish off this edge. If you've stopped on the same row I have, then you're going to have this single crochet. You can go in there with a single crochet and chain 4. 4, and then go in your shell with a single crochet, and that's what you're going to be doing across here. Chain 4. Now if you stopped on a different row, because this is a 2-row repeat, so you can stop in whichever row. If you stopped on this row here where you don't have that single crochet that I went into, you have this chain 3. Then all you would do is just do your chain 4 and then put a single crochet around that chain 3, do your chain 4 to get to the shell stitch. Same thing. So chain 4, single crochet in your shell. Continue on like that, and then I'll show you the next step. Now at the end of this row, we're just going to put a double crochet into that chain 2, top of that chain 2 we did. Okay, just a double crochet, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Okay, oops, sorry about the camera. So now we're going to put single crochets along here. I'm going to put a single crochet in that first one. Single crochet in that single crochet. You can put single crochets in your chains or go around them, as long as you do 4 single crochets. Let me see, how's that going to work? 2, 3, 4 single crochet in the single crochet, and 4 single crochet. Yeah, that'll work, and it's just going to give us some stitches to go into when we sew our sides together. Okay, so yeah, just continue doing that. I'll see you at the end of this row. Now to finish this row, I am just going to make a single crochet into that very end stitch. Now you can leave your yarn attached if you like, and leave a long tail to sew your sides together, but I think I'm just going to cut that off and sew it in. Where's my scissors? Sew it in, and that's it. All right, let's go to the next step. We're going to do the sleeves now. Now I have my top laid out right side out on my table here, and I've pinned the bottom, so this is the side of you here. This will be sewn up later, and I've tried it on, I've marked how big I need the opening for my arm to be, and mine's usually around 7 inches or so. So let's see, oh, where's my, okay. Okay, I've marked it here. Oops, I've marked it here. And it's around 7 inches. Okay, so whatever you need, make sure you try it on and then mark under your arm where you want how big you want your armhole to be. So now we're going to go into each of the little designs that we made in this pattern. So I'm just going to put my yarn on my hook. Okay, then I'm going to turn it so I can work the right way. And I'm going to leave my stitch marker in there. Okay. I'm going to start right here where the fan is. And all I'm going to do is I want my design to flow from the body down the arm. So here we have a fan. I'm going to just put a slip stitch right in there. I'm going right over this chain here. Okay, just go right into that fan, make a slip stitch, chain 1, and then I'm going to make my fan in there. So, oops, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, just like before. So that's 1, 2 double crochet, 3, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets. Okay, so we have our fan. Okay, and then we're going to go around this chain. We're going to go around this whole thing right here. Okay, we put a single crochet, chain 3, and then a single crochet. Now, for some reason you've ended on this row. Let's see, or this row, you would chain 3 and then do a single crochet around your chain and then chain 3. Okay. Okay, now we're going to go right into our fan stitch, fan or shell, put our 3 double crochet, chain 2, and our 3 double crochets. Okay, and keep track of how many little designs you're going around. Okay, so I've done 1, 2, 3 so far, because you want the same amount on when you make your other sleeve. And this is just gonna kind of blend in. It's not really going to be that noticeable. Let me show you my other sleeve. Honestly, I can't even find it. That's how much it's going to blend in. Oh, here it is, right here. Okay, that is there. It's just going to kind of blend in. It won't really be noticeable. Okay, so we'll continue on. Give me my fan or shell. Go right down here, we're on our chain 3, right? Oh, past this stitch here. Okay, single crochet, chain 3, and a single crochet. And then put our fan in the fan. Or the shell in the shell. I can't remember what I called it in the beginning. Okay, so continue doing that around your armhole. And then when I'm almost finished the armhole, I will meet you there. Okay. Okay, I'm at the end of my sleeve. My armhole. This is where my stitch marker is. So all I'm going to do, and I finished with a fan here, which is fine. We have a fan over here, that's all right. I'm just going to slip stitch into the first couple of double crochets in that fan. And then I'm going to chain 1 and we'll cut that off. So we have our armhole made. There's the armhole. And so now what I'm going to do is sew from this stitch marker, not from up here, but from the stitch marker all the way to the bottom. I'll turn my top inside out to do that. I'll be right back. All right, I've turned my top inside out. I did try it on, and it's the opening for my arm is good. Okay. So make sure that your bottom of your top is even. Okay, so where our stitch marker is, that's where we're going to start sewing. Just going to go in, catch 2 loops on either side. If you crochet your seams closed, that's perfectly fine. Do it the way you do it. And yeah, usually, well, almost always just sew it together. Just going to tie that on and then sew that in later. We're getting there. We're close to being done. Yeah. Then you can start wearing your beautiful top this summer or whenever you're making it. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing that, grabbing two loops on one side, 2 loops on the other side, and just sewing all the way down. Okay, and at the bottom, you'll just, sew it so it's even at the bottom, and then sew in your ends. All right, so I'll see you after. I won't show you that part if that's okay. And then we'll do the next part. All right, thanks. I'll be right back. Okay, so we've sewn up the sides. I've turned my top right side out again. And this is the sleeve. Here's the neckline here, your shoulder, and then your sleeve. So here, if you want, like, you can try it on. I always try mine on as I'm making them. And so you can leave the sleeves just like this. It'll be, a little cap sleeve. But I'm going to make long sleeves as someone had requested that. So I've made my sleeve on this side. We don't even need a border. This is how it's gonna just end up. Okay. So you can make short sleeve, 3/4 lengths, right down to your wrist like I did. It's whatever you choose. Okay, so I'm just gonna hook my yarn in one of these oops, one of these shells. Okay, then chain 1. Make a shell into a shell, like we were doing before, and I'm going to just keep on working. Oh dear. Keep on working until I get just past my wrist is where I stopped on the other one. So I'm actually, I think I counted how many rows I did. Yes, pay attention and keep track of how many rows you've made for your sleeve, because you'll need to make the same amount for the other one, so they'll be even. Yeah, so I made mine just, what is going on here, just past my wrist a little bit. Okay, so let's make go in your shell, make your 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then my next one is this chain 3, so I'm going to chain 3 to get there, 1, 2, 3, and then put a single crochet in that chain 3 or around it, and then chain 3 to get back up to my shell fan. And make a shell in there, go all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. I want to keep track of my rows, so I'm doing them, one by one, so I can count them properly. Okay, I'll see you at the end of this row. Now here I am at the end of this row. I'm simply going to, I finished with a fan, and I had started with a fan. Doesn't matter what you've started and finished with, because your sleeve or your armpit hole would be probably a different size than mine, maybe. Probably, maybe. Alright, so I'm just going to slip stitch the first double crochet of that next fan, and then slip stitch into the second one. Oh, I'm going to actually go into the third one, and then I'm starting a new row. Slip stitch into the top of that chain 2, right into it, chain 1, and then make another row. So make your fan in your fan, okay, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And then single crochet around that first chain 3, and then chain 3, and then single crochet around the next chain 3, and then go right into making another fan in the next fan, and so on. Yeah, just make it till you have the lengths of your sleeve that you want. And then slip stitch to finish off your sleeve. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next step, all right, after you're done your sleeve. All right, I'll be right back. Now I'm at the end of my sleeve. I did my fan or shell, chain 3, single crochet around the chain 3 from the previous row, and then chain 3, and now I'm going to just slip stitch into that next stitch into the double crochets. I think I did 23 or 24 rows. Slip stitch into those 3 double crochets. Okay, so that's how I finished off the sleeves. All right, on to the next step. Okay, we're at the bottom of our top. We're going to make a border. So you can start anywhere. I'm just going to pull my yarn through here. I'm going right through those chains, not around them. Oops. Okay. Now I'm going to chain one. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be making single crochets all around, and we need to have a multiple of 10. Okay, so I'm going to put single crochet in that first spot. Okay, then I'm going to put single crochet right through the next chain. So that's 2. Put single crochet through the stitch here, and then when we're at those, these are chain 2s, I believe. You can put 2 single crochets in those. Okay. So multiples of 10. And when I get to 10, the 10th single crochet, I'm going to mark it with a stitch marker so I don't have to keep going back and counting. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm going to mark it with a stitch marker, that 10th one I made, and then make 10 more and count them, 10 more, count them, and then I'll see you at the end of this row. I'm at the end of the row. Now I'm going to slip stitch. Oh, just want to show you what I did here. I had made 9 single crochets, and I had like 2 stitches to go into at the end, so I just made 2 single crochets together to make the 10th one. So we just have to fudge it a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to slip stitch into that first single crochet I made at the beginning of the row, chain 1, go right back in that same stitch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 more rows of single crochets for a total of 3. I'll see you after we're done that. Almost forgot to mention, as you're making your single crochets and all the single crochets, you can remove your stitch markers, or you can do it now if you like. We don't need those anymore. That was just to keep track, so you don't have to keep counting back if we happen to get up and get a drink of water or something and then come back. It's like, where was I? Yeah. We don't need that. All right, I'll see you after I make 2 more rows of the single crochets. Now I've finished my 3rd row of the single crochets, so I'm just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet we made. Now we're going to start our fancy stitch. We're going to chain 1 and go back into that single crochet with 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. So we're just making the stitch that we made all throughout this top. Okay, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then skip 4 stitches 1, 2, 3, 4, work in the next one, a single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, go in the next one with our fan stitch, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And that's what we're going to repeat all the way around. All right, so you'll chain 3, skip 4, work in the next stitch with a single crochet, chain 3, skip 4, and then you'll make your fan in the 5th one. So continue doing that. I'll meet you at the end of this row. I've come to the end of this first row of border, and I've chained 3, and we should have 4 stitches left, which I do. And then I'm going to slip stitch into this fan here. You can actually just slip stitch a couple of stitches here and finish it off, and this will be your border on your top. I'm actually going to make 2 more rows. That's what I plan on doing. Okay, so I'm going to slip stitch right up into that chain 2, then chain 1, and make the shell, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, okay, and then single crochet around that chain 3, and then chain 3 and single crochet around the next chain 3, just like the pattern throughout the top. And then our fan in the fan. Yeah, so I'm gonna make 1 more row after this and see what it looks like, and if I like it, I'll keep it, and then we just need to sew in our ends and we'll be done. How exciting! Right? How exciting! Now here we are at the end of our beautiful top. I'm just going to slip stitch into that first double crochet after I've done my chains 3, and then slip stitch, slip stitch into the next one. And then cut my yarn. I've already cut my yarn. Okay, so the only thing we need to do is sew in the ends. All right, so I hope you like this top and this tutorial. If you like it, please click like, subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here as a family member, and I love reading your comments. I try to respond to as many as I can. And please share this tutorial or any of my tutorials that you like or you're interested in making. Please share it to social media. That really, really helps a lot. It does. And thank you so much. And please join my Facebook group if you haven't yet, and post a picture of anything that you make, whether it's my design or someone else's. Just make sure you tell us what the tutorial is, in case someone's interested and they don't have to ask. It'll be right there for them. All right, greatly appreciate you having here, and thank you so much. See you soon.